my tomb, Kronos!
God of War 3 didn't just give us boss fights, it gave us playable spectacles, and Kronos might be the most jaw-dropping of them all. This isn't just a giant boss. Kronos is a mountain-sized titan, so huge that Kratos is literally fighting across his fingernails, crawling over his body like an insect. The scale of this fight still holds up today. Every camera pullback reminds you just how impossibly massive this creature is. And yet somehow, you, the tiny Spartan, are bringing him down. What makes it so memorable is the combination of sheer size and brutality. 1 second you're fighting hordes of enemies on his hand, the next you're climbing up his arm, dodging swipes, and finally carving into his skin with visceral finishers that define the God of War series. Even all these years later, Kronos feels like one of gaming's greatest technical marvels, an unforgettable reminder that in this world, even gods and titans aren't safe from Kratos' rage. Kicking things off at number 9, we've got one of the most intense duels in Resident Evil history, Leon versus Jack Krauser in the Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, what makes this boss fight legendary is that it's not about mowing down a monster with a rocket launcher. It's about pure skill, reflexes, and precision. Krauser isn't just another enemy. He's a rival who knows Leon inside and out. The fight plays out like a brutal cat-and-mouse game, with Krauser darting around, setting traps, and forcing you into close-quarters combat. The knife fight mechanics and quick dodges bring this raw intensity that you just don't get with most bosses. It's a battle that feels personal, almost like a final test of everything you've learned up to this point. And the visuals? Absolutely cinematic. Every slash, every counter, every explosion of sparks feels like you're watching an action movie, but you're the one in control. It's the kind of fight that leaves your palms sweating and your heart racing. For me, Krauser is the definition of a perfect boss fight. Skill-based, cinematic, and unforgettable.
You're too soft to do what's necessary.
You don't want to do this, Freeze.
Oh, I believe I do. You will bring me Nora, or you will die.
At number 8, we've got one of the most brilliantly designed boss battles ever. Batman versus Mr. Freeze in Arkham City. What makes this fight so genius is that you can't just spam the same move over and over. Freeze adapts to everything you do. Sneak up behind him, he'll freeze the floor next time. Glide kick him, he'll deploy drones to spot you. Use a vent, he'll freeze it shut. It turns the fight into this constant game of chess where you always have to think one step ahead, mixing up your gadgets and strategies to stay unpredictable. And the tension is real. Freeze is armored, powerful, and every hit feels like you've outsmarted a villain who's just as dangerous mentally as he is physically. Visually, the fight is stunning too. A cold atmosphere, his glowing suit, and Batman constantly lurking in the shadows. It's not just a battle, it's a mind game. That's why the Mr. Freeze fight isn't just one of the best in the Arkham series, it's one of the best boss fights of all time. At number 7, we have one of the newest and most breathtaking boss fights to hit gaming, the Scorpion Lord from Black Myth Wukong. This fight feels like it was ripped straight out of a dark fantasy movie. The Scorpion Lord is massive, towering over Wukong with its armored body, sharp pincers, and that venomous tail ready to strike at any moment. The scale of the fight is what makes it unforgettable. You feel tiny, darting around this monstrous creature as it smashes the ground, sending shockwaves across the arena. The detail in its design is incredible too. Every movement of its legs and claws feels both elegant and terrifying. What really sets this fight apart is the mix of traditional myth and modern action combat. Dodging its lightning-fast strikes, weaving in with Wukong's staff combos, and then transforming mid-battle to unleash mystical powers creates a cinematic rhythm. It's not just a boss fight, it's a showcase of how next-gen games can blend myth, spectacle, and sheer intensity into something unforgettable. The Scorpion Lord proves that Black Myth Wukong is shaping up to be a true game changer. At number 6, we enter the galaxy far, far away with one of the most iconic creatures in Star Wars history, the Rancor. But this time, it's not just a background monster, it's a full-scale boss fight in Star Wars Outlaws. The moment the Rancor emerges, you feel its sheer size and power. Every footstep shakes the ground, every roar rattles through your speakers. Unlike in the movies, here, you're not just watching the Rancor, you're surviving it. Dodging its crushing fists, staying out of range of its bone-crushing bite, and using cover to avoid being slammed against the walls keeps you on the edge of your seat. What makes this fight so special is how it blends classic Star Wars atmosphere with modern gameplay. You're not a Jedi here, you're an outlaw, which means every move is about strategy, quick reflexes, and using the environment to your advantage. Taking down a Rancor without the Force makes the victory feel even more satisfying. It's a brutal, cinematic showdown that proves Outlaws is giving fans exactly what they've always wanted, a chance to live their own Star Wars legend. At number 5, we step into the haunting lands of Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, where Bayle the Dread awaits. From the moment you enter his arena, you know this is not just another boss. It's a test of endurance, skill, and sheer willpower. Bayle towers above you, a dragon wrapped in molten fire and ancient rage. His sweeping wings darken the battlefield, while his flames scorch everything in sight. Every strike feels like it could end your journey in an instant, forcing you to master perfect dodges and carefully timed attacks. But what makes Bayle unforgettable isn't just his size or his brutality. It's the way the fight feels like a true From Software masterpiece. The music swells, the ashes swirl, and with every desperate roll and counter, you feel the intensity of a battle that defines Elden Ring's legacy. Defeating Bayle the Dread isn't just about victory. It's about surviving an encounter that pushes you to your limits and rewards you with one of the most epic triumphs in Soulsborne history. At number 4, we swing into Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and the unforgettable clash against Sandman. From the very first second, this fight sets the tone for the entire game. It's big, cinematic, and absolutely jaw-dropping. Sandman towers over the city, a swirling titan of sand and fury, hurling massive fists and debris at you, while Spider-Man scrambles to survive. What makes this fight stand out is the sheer scale. You're not just dodging punches, you're web-swinging through collapsing buildings, saving civilians, and battling a villain who feels larger than life. But what really hits home is the spectacle. Insomniac Games nailed the perfect blend of superhero action and emotional storytelling, making this boss battle feel like you've been dropped right into the middle of a Marvel blockbuster. Taking down Sandman isn't just another win. It's a reminder of why we love Spider-Man. Impossible odds, high stakes, and a hero who never gives up, no matter how big the enemy. At number 3, we're diving into one of the most terrifying boss encounters in modern gaming, the Rat King from The Last of Us Part 2. This isn't just a boss fight, it's pure nightmare fuel. Deep in the hospital basement, with the flicker of broken lights and the echo of dripping pipes, you're suddenly face to face with the Rat King, a grotesque fusion of infected bodies fused together over years of infection. It's massive, relentless, and unlike anything the series has thrown at you before. The fight is chaotic and claustrophobic. Every corner feels unsafe as the Rat King charges through walls, crushing everything in its path. Just when you think you've managed to bring it down, part of it literally tears away and keeps attacking, forcing you to adapt on the fly. What makes this battle unforgettable isn't just the horror, it's the tension. Low supplies, tight spaces, and the overwhelming sense of dread make this one of the most pulse-pounding moments in gaming history. The Rat King isn't just an enemy, it's a symbol of how far the infection has spiraled out of control. At number 2, one of gaming's most iconic villains in recent memory, Resident Evil Village's Lady Dimitrescu. From the moment she stalks you through the halls of her gothic castle, towering over you with elegance and menace, she commands attention. But the real spectacle comes when she transforms, revealing her monstrous dragon-like true form. The fight erupts across the castle rooftop, with fire, wings, and claws thrashing as you try to bring her down. The battle is as much a spectacle as it is a challenge, forcing you to adapt to her unpredictable patterns, dodge massive strikes, and take careful shots while she tears through the environment. Every moment feels like a scene straight out of a horror blockbuster. It's terrifying, cinematic, and unforgettable, mixing gothic horror with blockbuster action. Lady Dimitrescu isn't just a boss fight, she's a cultural icon who proves that Resident Evil knows how to blend fear and spectacle like no other. And finally, at number 1, we have perhaps the most legendary boss fight in gaming history, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. From the very start of the game, Sephiroth is built up as something larger than life, a fallen hero, a ruthless villain, and a godlike figure whose shadow looms over every moment of the story. By the time you finally face him, the anticipation is electric. The fight itself is pure spectacle. Sephiroth doesn't just stand in front of you, he becomes a cosmic force. The arena shifts into surreal, otherworldly landscapes, and his devastating attack, Supernova, literally drags the entire solar system into the battle. Watching planets shatter, stars explode, and yet still having to press on against him was unlike anything players had ever seen at the time. What makes this encounter unforgettable isn't just the visuals, but the atmosphere. The haunting orchestral score, One Winged Angel, changed video game music forever, blending Latin choir chants with epic intensity. It wasn't just a fight, it was an event. A crescendo of story, character, and emotion. Sephiroth isn't just a boss, he's the boss. A villain so iconic, he set the gold standard for what a final showdown in a video game should feel like.